G'day, it's the Adelaide Old Fart, and I'm going to introduce you to my current project, which is to fit a sidecar to my Himalayan. You're all familiar with the Himalayan, my Himalayan. You've seen it often enough in my other videos. Well, here she is in all her awful glory. You'll notice that she's filthy because I haven't washed her, but that's what's going to happen. It'll need a subframe made, and the current plan is to make a subframe that starts up here at the top of the frame, actually over there, right at the front, just inside of the oil cooler. Will be a chromoly tube that runs down here, curves round here. It'll be bolted there. At the top, it'll be bolted across either side of the frame, so it's run down here. It'll run down under here. It'll be bolted against the side stand mount, because I'll remove the side stand, not needing it, and then it'll sweep up here and fix itself to the frame somewhere. Undecided yet. Subframe down here, as well as being mounted to the sidecar, side stand mount, will also be braced right across the bike, so it should be as solid as. That's the plan anyway. And then of course there'll be the fittings from the subframe across the sidecar, which I will now go get. The sidecar itself is homemade and rather second hand. It wasn't made by me. It was actually made for a XT250, I believe. So my little Himalayan shouldn't have any trouble dragging it around. It's a mud guard line between everything. The wheel assembly here. Now this flat plate on the wheel assembly slides in from the underside and bolts on there. And if you look at the wheel, it's actually look at the wheel assembly, it's actually a torsion bar. Torsion bar being in there. I believe it's actually off a trailer. But that's alright, it'll do the job. We're talking cheap and effective here as opposed to best practice, because I can't afford best practice. The chassis itself is a space frame made out of square tubing covered with aluminium. In the back there is a closed boot. I'll have to work out what to do about those mounting struts. And this, of course, is the mudguard. So let's get on to getting this in place so you can see what it looks like. Now, let's see if I can film this without making too much of a hash of it. What I want to do is slide this part of the wheel underneath the sidecar and mount it in place. I'm going to need both hands and a third one to hold the camera. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. Probably it won't. Drop a couple of bolts in there to hold it in place. That matters too much, I don't think. As you can see, there's 2 holes on the outside and 4 on the inside. Okay, that's more or less how it's going to sit. The wheel, of course, will be better aligned once it's bolted in properly, and this is the boot. I was going to have that undone so that I could just lift it up, but I'll have it. Oh no, there we go. Right, you have a wooden rail here, and then the boot lid just lifts off, and there's my boot. Wooden floor, some tie down points. You can see the frame, the aluminium outer, the wooden flooring, that's inner flooring. Now I may look at making the boot lid a tilt up job at some stage, but then again I've just noticed how close it sits to the panniers, so maybe I won't. Pardon me for moving the camera so that everything's out of shot. I'll put that back on again. Oh, what have I done wrong? A lot of stuff you can't do real easily one-handed, can you? Put the thing up there, and you can just listen to me growling in the background. There we are, it's dropped into place. This wooden, what you call it? I've never had a problem getting back in before. Here we go. That goes underneath those catches. These fold down to hold it in place. And got a screw down holder at the back. Now, just how much of that's going to remain in the long term will depend on how much it annoys me in use. I'm giving you a good shot of the inside of the chair. Wooden flooring, you can see the space frame. A couple of tie down points. Right, let's see if we can put the mudguard on. Need to do another one of these nuts. This was really interesting doing it the other day when I had 2 hands. Now I'm going to try and do it one-handed. Won't that be fun? No, I'm going to put it there. And that is more or less how it should look. I mean, it'll look a bit different once it's aligned properly and got the right amount of tilt and swing. I just realised the panniers may be a bit of an issue. That'll depend on how wide we place the chair. I don't know if I'm planning to carry passengers in it. I do have a screen if I decide to put a passenger in it. Obviously I'd need to organise a nice comfy seat. It's certainly good enough for a dog, which would be good, except I don't have a dog, I have a Siamese cat. So I think she's a nice balanced fit to the bike. It's very light. I carried it out here on my own. I won't be doing, well, at this stage I don't plan to do the wiring on the bike myself. I plan to get an electrician to do that, mainly because I don't understand electricity too well. But we'll see how we go there. A sidecar I should be able to do myself. Well, we'll worry about that when we get to it. So, by cripes, it takes up a lot of space, a lot more than you'd expect. So somehow under this carport I've got to get a motorbike and sidecar and my car. Let's see if that's going to happen. Okay, stay tuned for part 2. I don't know when it'll be. I don't know what it will involve. But it will happen. Okay, catch ya.